Christopher Bell lashes out against his crew chief, and Connor Zilisch is truly on a generational run. And I'm not just talking about the memes. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove, presented by Tableau TV. St. Louis gave us so much to talk about. If you missed my post-race recap, you can click right up here or click the link down in the description below. Today, we're talking Connor Zilisch, Christopher Bell, and more. But first, this episode is sponsored by Peanut Patch. You can find Peanut Patch boiled peanuts at Walmart, Sam's Club, and at 27,000 convenience stores nationwide. Since we last had the Boylan brothers, Bart Lattimore and Brent Underwood on the show, they co-hosted an episode of the Food Network's The Great Food Truck Race with Tyler Florence, filmed at the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway. Peanut Patch was used as a secret ingredient in that episode where contestants had to create a salad using their boiled peanuts. You can watch the episode on Hulu and many other streaming services, and you can meet Bart and Brent at Bristol this weekend. They'll be giving away some Peanut Patch swag and samples of their newest flavor, Spicy Buffalo. The Boylan brothers will also be performing Thursday night at 5 p.m. at the Jack Daniels tent across from the Peanut Patch display just outside Bristol Motor Speedway, so hopefully you'll stop by the Peanut Patch display if you're heading to the Last Great Coliseum later this week. Now, catching up on a few post-Gateway storylines that I missed late last night, Christopher Bell was not happy after he took the checkered flag. Context is key. 1 year ago at Gateway, Christopher Bell was phenomenal. Led laps, actually swept the stages. He was part of that Bell, Blaney, Cindric, that trio that was there at the end contending for the win. So coming into this year's race at Gateway, expectations were extremely high for the 20 team. And Christopher Bell was competitive on Sunday. Qualified top 10, ran top 10, earned points in both stages, finished 7th. But despite the productive points day, Bell was not satisfied with another top 10 finish.
That's what we needed today. Take the pressure off next week.
We just fucking ran 7th with the best car on the track. Every week it's the same shit. We're the last car to pit road. I'm over it.
Whoa, that may be the most emotion I have heard from Christopher Bell since his satirical "we are having fun" rant a couple years back. That's easily the angriest we've heard Christopher Bell since his infamous Phoenix media session where he defiantly stated that he was cheated out of a championship 4 spot. Both sides are justified here. I think crew chief Adam Stevens coming over the radio saying, "Hey, it stinks, but we did what we had to do this afternoon," is fair. The 20 team entered Gateway only 11 points to the good. They exited plus 32. Very productive points afternoon. But Christopher Bell's frustration is also justified because he sees what we all see. The 20 team has fallen behind. If you had said back in March that Christopher Bell's win at Phoenix, his 3rd win in a row, would be his last points-paying win up to this moment, no one would have believed you. This looked like it was going to be Bell's breakout year. Statistically, the past few seasons, Christopher Bell has been the best Joe Gibbs Racing driver, I'd say. Multiple wins every year. He's been to 2 championship 4s, 3 straight top 5 points finishes. Bell has been great the past few years, but this looked to be the season he finally takes that next leap. This is Christopher Bell's age 30 season. History tells us he should be entering his prime years. 2-3 wins a year, deep playoff run. That was young Christopher Bell. Prime Christopher Bell should look closer to peak Kyle Busch. But that hasn't been the case. Christopher Bell has 0 points wins the past 23 cup races now. In that same span, his brand new teammate Chase Briscoe has 2 wins, nearly a half a dozen pole awards. His other teammate Denny Hamlin has 5 wins in that span, and both Briscoe and Hamlin are locked into the round of 12, while Christopher Bell will have to hold his breath at Bristol Saturday night.
We're the last car to pit road. I'm over it.
Back to Bell's specific point in that radio clip I shared, at Gateway, the final cycle of green flag pit stops began with 45 laps to go. Chase Briscoe and Denny Hamlin were the first 2 leaders to hit pit road. They finished 1st and 2nd in the race. Christopher Bell didn't pit until 7 laps later, He finished 7th. Adam Stevens is a tremendous NASCAR Cup Series crew chief, 2-time Cup champion. All of the accolades we just assigned Bell, we could very much assign to Adam Stevens. He's played a huge role in their continued success the past few seasons. It's hard to second guess a guy like Adam Stevens, but Christopher Bell is also a great driver. It's hard to second guess what he says. All I know is that barring a disaster at Bristol, Bell, the 20 team, should get through this first round. But if they're going to make a deep playoff run, finally take that leap we all are expecting them to, then those two need to get on the same page quickly. Christopher Bell not satisfied with another solid top 10 finish. The Xfinity Series playoff grid is officially set. I'll have some Xfinity Series segments coming up over the next few weeks, thanks to my friends at Tableau TV, but there's one team we need to start with. It's the number 88. You just can't take your eyes off Connor Zilisch. Connor Zilisch wins at Gateway this past Saturday. It's his 9th win on record for the season. He led over 100 laps in that race. He clinched the regular season championship, has a 59-point cushion entering this first round. Zilisch has won 7 of the last 8 Xfinity Series events. One of those, there's an asterisk. Parker Kligerman did most of the heavy lifting at Daytona. Okay, take that one out. That's still 6 wins in 7 Xfinity starts for 19-year-old. He was 18 when he started this run. 19-year-old Connor Zilisch. Unbelievable. He's a rookie, still fairly new to stock car racing, still fairly new to ovals. In his last 13 Xfinity Series starts since that back injury, and I'm taking out Daytona here, I don't have to, in those 13 races, he has 13 top 5 finishes, 7 wins, and an unbelievable average finish of 2.0. Those would be ridiculous stats at the ARCA level. But Connor Zilisch is doing this in front of over 1 million viewers every single week in the second most prestigious stock car racing series in the world. The only thing Zilisch can't do, apparently, is celebrate these wins without hurting himself. Obviously, we've seen the whole, him falling off the car at Watkins Glen, which, by the way, went viral again this weekend thanks to the NFL memes account using it to describe the Ravens' collapse to the Bills. But there was also an extreme near miss this Saturday when the CW's cameraman almost got caught in the crosshairs of Zilich's burnout. Side note, look, I'm a film guy. I love getting the cinematic angles, doing anything for the shot, but maybe we should take a couple steps back in the future. But then Connor Zilisch apparently tore his fire suit sliding down the hood of his car. His dad once again memeing his own son thanks to the use of a classic Far Side bit. Look, if celebrating is the only thing Connor Zilisch is bad at, I guess that's a good problem to have. I tweeted this over the weekend, but the word generational gets overused. It gets thrown around more than it should. It should be reserved for truly the most remarkable, special, rare moments that are only seen roughly once in every generation, which, covers a couple of decades at least. Connor Zilisch is a teenager who's overcome a back injury, a broken collarbone, to put together maybe the greatest 13-race stretch in NASCAR Xfinity Series history. Connor looks like peak Kyle Busch from the late 2000s, early 2010s when he was dominating the then nationwide series. The difference was then Kyle Busch was in his 20s, was already an established Cup Series star when he dropped back to Xfinity and took over. Connor Zilisch is doing it at 18, 19 years old. 13 wins is the single season NASCAR Xfinity Series record set by Kyle Busch in 2010, I believe. Right now, Connor Zilisch technically is at 9 wins, giving him credit for that Daytona race. 7 races to go for the Xfinity season. Can he go 4 for 7, 5 for 7 to set a new record? History tells us it's not possible, but that's the thing about true generational talents. They're supposed to do things we haven't seen in generations. Before I wrap up on this, Connor Zilisch has been unbelievable. I know some of you may think I'm heaping way too much praise on him. 2.0 average finish in 13 consecutive races. There isn't enough praise to heap on a kid putting up those kinds of numbers week in, week out at this level. But with all that being said, I want to again caution fans not to overreact to Connor Zilich's rookie Cup Series season next year. Trackhouse in the Cup Series is not Junior Motorsports in Xfinity. The Cup car is radically different. The competition is much greater. I think Connor Zilisch will develop into a Cup Series contender, but it's likely going to take some time. I think it's unfair to expect Zilisch to perform to these high standards right away next season as a 19-year-old. Again, right now in Xfinity, Marty Lindley has that group dialed in. When Kyle Larson drove that car in one race, he won. When Parker Kligerman got behind the wheel at Daytona, he won. Their teammate, the 7, Justin Allgaier, has been the other dominant car in the points all year long. So the team, the 88 team Junior Motorsports, deserve a ton of credit as well for this prolonged summer of success. Connor's been unbelievable, no doubt. Teenager doing the things he's doing, showing that poise, impressive. But I wanted to make sure I gave the whole team their due credit before I signed off here, because they too deserve it. 7 wins in a 13 race span for Connor Zilisch. An average finish of 2nd. This is the NASCAR Xfinity Series we're talking about. Sure, the competition level may not be as steep as it was 15 years ago when there were more Cup drivers in the field. I get it. But it's still not easy to put up these kinds of numbers every single week. Zilisch, the 88 team, is on a generational run right now. That's all for me. That's all I've got. Leave a comment down below. What do you make of Connor Zilich's impressive summer stretch? Christopher Bell's outburst. Does he have a point? Have Briscoe and Hamlin officially leapfrogged him in the JGR pecking order? Should Bell be worried the rest of these playoffs? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. That's all from me, folks. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more NASCAR conversation, content, and commentary every day, all week long. Huge thank you to my Patreon supporters as well. Peanut Patch won't be the only group at Bristol Motor Speedway this weekend. I'll be there as well. More information to come. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching this episode, folks. I'll see you in the next one.